Around 50 protesters assembled outside the US Embassy in Israel on the night of 21st January. Their collective voice demanded immediate action from Washington and Israel against intensifying assault on the Kurdish population in the Middle East. Well, you might think why we care about just 50 people from the Kurdish community demanding something. Let me tell you, it's not about the numbers. It's about what they stand for and what this particular community is facing right now in the Middle East. And mind you, it's not just about the recent atrocities. It's about the continuous persecution faced by the Kurds in the Middle East. Though recent demonstrations particularly raised frustration over atrocities perpetrated against Kurdish communities in northeastern Syria under the administration of Ahmad al-Sharaa and Iran's leadership under Supreme Leader Ayatollah Khamenei. So in this edition of From the News Desk, we will tell you about the broader campaign which is unfolding in the Middle East against the Kurdish population and why it's high time for the United States and Israel to do something about it. The targeting of Kurdish populations extend across multiple states within the region. Iran under Khamenei's leadership has long pursued policies designed to suppress Kurdish autonomy and nationalist aspiration within its borders, conducting periodic military campaigns and airstrikes against Kurdish militia groups, a pressure campaign that predates but has intensified under current geopolitical circumstances. We are talking about the current Iran unrest which the Islamic Republic witnessed. Simultaneously, Syria's new al-Sharaa regime has launched what observers characterize as a coordinated assault on the autonomous Syrian Democratic Forces. Not only the military forces, but also on Kurdish civilians in the northeastern Syria, dismantling decades of self-governance arrangements and the alleged committing of widespread atrocities. Now, the Kurdish community has sought both American and Israeli military intervention to halt what they describe as a genocide. In fact, the Kurdish community continues to invoke historical parallels while appealing to Israel's Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu to mobilize military resources. They say that the Jewish people know what a Holocaust is, and for more days it has been a Holocaust in Syrian Kurdistan. Also, one member of the Kurdish community, while protesting outside US Embassy in Israel, shared a harrowing testimony regarding documented abuses with the media. In fact, she said, and I quote, "We saw videos of women who were kidnapped and sold into sexual slavery. We saw videos of beheadings. We saw all kinds of crimes against humanity that are being committed right now. And we also saw the world be absolutely silent about it." Now, what protesters are saying does make sense, as there are multiple videos circulating online showing al-Sharaa's force committing sexual violence against civilians, executing detainees and subjecting Kurdish men to humiliation and torture. Now, among protesters, there is a palpable sense of betrayal. The Kurdish Syrian Democrat forces had fought Islamic State for years, a campaign that significantly degraded the terrorist organization's territorial presence and operational capabilities, often at catastrophic human cost. Well, the force has simultaneously battled the organization comprising al-Sharaa when the United States designated it as a terrorist organization. Now, the recent statements from the US officials have intensified this frustration. Not anyone else, but the US President Donald Trump himself praised al-Sharaa's appearance while suggesting the administration was trying to protect the Kurds. Now, here's why this recent situation requires world's attention. The SDS collapse has catastrophic consequences not only for the region but for the entire world. Regime-affiliated armed groups have forced the abandonment of detention facilities in multiple areas, resulting in the release of approximately 1,500 Islamic State terrorists, a development that threatens not merely regional stability but global security architecture, as foreign ISI fighters disappeared among the coherent may resurface in international theatres. Kurdish protesters demand sustained international pressure, military support, and end to what they say as complicity in atrocities. Now, whether Western governments will respond remains profoundly uncertain, but definitely there is a need of intervention looking at the prevailing situation.